Hi everybody, my name is Chris Hall. I'm from Wappack Labs, and today I'm going to take a few minutes to explain how to sign up for RedXray cyber threat notifications from the Identity Max website. So when you bring up the page here, you'll notice there are several fields here that you need to fill out. The first three are self-explanatory, so just your name and email address. These next ones perhaps might be a little bit confusing. However, hopefully they'll be less confusing after I explain it. So what RedXray does is it takes what we call entities that are associated with a given organization or a company, and we search all of those against our collections. And if there's any results, then we send out an email notification. So an entity can be a number of things. So there's basically three categories that we look at. One is network indicators. So that can be an IP address, it can be a network range, or what's known as an autonomous system. So an autonomous system is simply just a collection of network ranges that belong to a given organization. The second category is domains. So that's just going to be the name of your company's website, as well as any other domains that belong to your organization. So I'll show you how to identify those in a minute. And the third category is keywords. So that's just how it sounds. It's just keywords that are associated with your company. So starting with networks, first thing you want to do is if you don't know the network resources that are associated with your company, I'd recommend asking your IT department. So your IT department's probably best suited to provide you those IP addresses and those network indicators. However, I'm also just going to show you real quick how you can identify that information as well. So using an example company, we're going to use Bank of America as an example for this. So let's say I want to fill out this form for notifications from Bank of America. First thing I need to do is identify those network resources for Bank of America. And one of the sites that you can use for this is Hurricane Electric, or the BGP Toolkit, which is at bgp.he.net. And you'll notice there's a little search bar here, so you can go ahead and search on your company name. And you can see, for this example, we have quite a few network ranges and autonomous systems. So what you would do is you would take those autonomous system numbers, and you can go ahead and just simply just paste them into this box here. Now, an autonomous system is a catch-all, or it includes all of the network ranges. So if your organization has an autonomous system, then you're not going to need to go and copy and paste these network ranges, because RedXray will identify those network ranges from the autonomous system. Now, a smaller organization probably is not going to have an AS that's associated with it. So in that case, I highly encourage you to just check in with your IT department, because oftentimes the network resources for a smaller organization may not be easy to find through open source research. And I'll show you why that's the case. So using my company as an example, Wappack Labs, if you go into a Who Is lookup site, like Central Ops, for example, centralops.net, you can search on your domain name and you can see the IP addresses that are hosting your domain. Now, one might take those IP addresses and put them into the form here, which may be the right thing to do. However, it may not be, and I'll show you why. So using, again, WAPEC Labs as an example, if we take this IP address, and we search it in VirusTotal to see the passive DNS or the, I'm sorry, if you take the domain and search it in VirusTotal, you can see the IP addresses that have been seen hosting that domain. And if you click on these, you can see that this one IP address is currently hosting a lot of other domains. So it's a Squarespace IP address. So as you may know, Squarespace is used for hosting a large amount of domains. So if you were to use this Squarespace IP as an input, then you would get notifications for a lot of other things that may not be related to your company. So just keep that in mind when you're filling out this form. So that's why I encourage you to ask your IT department, because they'll be able to tell you IP addresses that are exclusively associated or owned by your organization. So I encourage you to check in with them. So the next category here is domains. This is a little more straightforward. So the first thing you want to do is put in your primary domain. However, if your organization has a registrant email, and we can use Bank of America, or go back to our Bank of America example again. In the who is information here, you can see Bank of America has a registrant of domain.administrator.bankofamerica.com. Now, if you know if your organization has the same registrant email for all of your domains, then you simply just need to put in your registrant email into this field. And you don't have to put in all of your domains, because when you submit the form, what RedXray will do is it will automatically identify all of the domains that are associated with that registrant email. So that saves you the trouble of having to put in all of your domains. Now, if you don't know the registrant email, or if the registrant email isn't listed, or if you're using private who is, which is used by many domains, then you're just going to need to put in your domains manually. You won't be able to map it. For example, if you were to put in the private who is email address, then it would map all of the domains that are associated with that private who is. And again, those will not be your domains and can generate false positives. Okay, and the third category here is keywords. Whatever you put in this box will be treated as a word or a phrase. Good rule of thumb for a single keyword is the longer the better. If you have a short keyword, then it increases the chances of a false positive. So a good keyword, using our example again, would be Bank of America. So this is what, like 13, 14 characters. So chances are any hit on this string is probably not going to be a false positive, because it's very clear that this keyword is associated with Bank of America, right? If you were just to use bank as a keyword, obviously that's a bad keyword. It's going to result in a lot of false positives. It will find other banks, not necessarily Bank of America. You could also do Bank of America spaces, and this will be treated as one phrase, right? It won't be split up. So it'll search for Bank space of space America. So you can do different permutations of your company name in here. Just again, keep in mind that the shorter the name, the higher probability there is of getting a false positive. And finally is the email addresses that you would like to receive the notifications to. So that can be your email address, or it can be the alias of your IT department or your security department, whatever email you would like to receive, that you would like to receive notifications. So after you filled all this out, just hit submit. It'll come to WAPAC Labs, that data. We will quality control it to make sure that you submitted the right information. And then from there, you can click on Let's Get Started and sign up for your notifications. So that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can reach us at 1-888-RED-XRAY, or you can email us at redxraysupport@WAPAC Labs. So I hope this video was useful. And again, please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.